Good science, by definition, allows for more than one opinion. Otherwise, you merely have the will of one man, which is the basis of cult.
If it's not in frame, it doesn't exist.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
Where you been?
Drunk.
Wendy, darling, light of my life.
What is your one purpose in life?
To explode, of course.
I like death with sex. How about you, Casey? You like sex with death?
Yeah, so fuck up and die.
J's, dog.
Howard Johnson. What are you even talking about?
Remember he talks about that. He's like, I want to go to LaGuardia or whatever, wherever he wants to go, Argentina or whatever. He's like, they got a Howard Johnson. Like, dude, he's like, he's such a child. I love it, dude.
It's great.
Woo!
This is the what podcast are we? The Cult of Cinema Knowledge podcast.
Oh.
That's who we are. I'm Levi,
welcome
and
to the Pickle Podcast.
That's Jordan. Yeah, this is. We're actually. What's the name of that place that you were just saying?
The Howard J's. We're Howard Johnson.
Sorry, I've never even heard of a Howard Johnson outside of media, so I'm not sure that that's real because I've never seen one with my own two eyes.
You haven't? They're a restaurant. Oh my!
No, I know they are. I've
together.
seen Mad Men. Come on.
Okay, good. That is true. I've learned everything in my life from movies or
everything.
Media, and I've learned something new today with My Dog Date Afternoon. Not a talking dog movie, which I thought it was going to be.
Dude, My Dog Date Afternoon. That'd be a good one. Okay, so we're talking about Dog Day Afternoon, which is a pretty good little movie there.
Yeah, I was surprised. It's kind of cool because it's like this, like he's kind of like, I mean, he's like probably in his sophomore, year of like directing, and he's just kind of this like up and coming director.
No, what?
And totally.
I know.
Oh, I'm sorry. That hashtag S because I am dropping some sarcasm.
Well, it's like
one of the most like legendary directors out there.
It's true, but it's funny because it's like his movies are like pretty hit and miss in the way that like he'll direct like 5 movies that no one ever watched and are fine, and then he'll direct one of the best masterpieces of the decade.
Oh, dude, I was gonna look it up again. He has
Sidney
I know
Lumet,
for a fact he has
we're talking
2.
About.
Yes, Sidney Lumet has 2 movies, like for sure, on AFI's top 100 movies of all time list, and he might even have more. I wouldn't be surprised.
He's probably got more because like obviously he's got 12 Angry Men, which is like his that really was his like debut practically.
All right,
outside of television, I think that was like one of his feature film debuts, which is considered one of the greatest movies of all time. But then it's like, yeah, then there's just like years before another.
So I mean, he did like what is it, Sicario before this?
Yes, Sicario starring Josh Brolin. And like
he made movies.
You mean Serpico?
Or Serpico, yeah. And Serpico, whatever, I don't know yet. I've never seen Serpico, but I've seen the Sunny episode. Like,
bunch of crooked cops. I'm walking here.
Yeah, that's beautiful. But anyways, I mean, I can totally get the energy from it. I saw this movie, so I kind of
he was
get
in
that. Like, dude, I love the 70s energy.
Yeah, he was in fine form in the mid 70s there, man.
Well, dude,
1973. Serpico, and then you got Murder on the Orient Express, Dog Day Afternoon, and then Network right after Dog Day Afternoon. And Network is maybe my favorite. Network is in our new opening of the show.
Oh, it's So it's the YouTube opening, right?
Yeah, which it's still going to be the regular opening too.
Oh, you're using that. Oh, okay, cool. I get it. Yeah, you're gonna use that.
Yeah, I just wanted it to work for
Beautiful.
both. And I was like, I wanted to do a new one anyway. And so if you're listening to this, it's the first episode with a new opening. It's still the same show. And I started with the same audio and ended with the same audio. So you wouldn't get confused.
Thank you.
I did that for you. Anyway, for those who have not seen this movie, you're going to tell us a synopsis. Did you
Yes, let me read a little synopsis while we're like 8 minutes into this. So, for anybody out there who hasn't seen this movie, it's Sidney Lumet, 1975 film, Dog Day Afternoon. We're greeted with found footage of city streets, the real people that make up New York, going about their day in the sticky heat of August, unsuspecting of the history that was about to be made. Sonny, Sal, and Stevie slip in the last minute before closing of a small First Brooklyn savings bank and proceed to rob it at gunpoint. Stevie loses his nerve, abandoning the plan, and there's very little cash because the money was picked up earlier that day. And this hiccup causes Sonny to panic and frantically burn a ledger. The smoke alerts the next-door neighbor that brings an onslaught of police, forcing the duo to take the bank employees hostage, and a standoff ensues. Sonny deals with the authorities, primarily NYPD's Captain Moretti, who tries to give Sonny whatever he wants to try to keep everything hospitable. And this whole ordeal is escalated over the constant news coverage and the vocally supportive crowd that is formed, giving Sonny the fame and encouragement to continue with his plan. That grows more complicated when Sonny's second wife, Leon, is brought in and used as leverage to end the whole thing. But Sonny demands a plane to fly away, in addition to enough money for Leon's sex change, where Sheldon, the shifty FBI agent who finally steps in, is able to arrange for a limo to get them to their private jet waiting on the tarmac. The cost of their ticket home was Sal's life and Sonny's freedom.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
What was the name? Dude, that was a Dog Day Afternoon right there.
Dog's Day Afternoon.
It's a Dog's Date Afternoon.
That was a dog's date, dude. No talking dogs were hurt in the making of this movie.
What was the name of the kid that left at the beginning?
Was it Alex?
No, you said it. You said it was like Sammy or something.
No, Sammy. No, dude. Now that you said it, you made me like second guess if that was right. I was just writing it. I'm like, this guy, he's a throwaway character.
No, that's the point. Is he's 100% irrelevant.
Stevie.
However, even though he's so irrelevant, because it's like
every character in this is like cool. They have like a reason.
No, it's great, and it's like even when he leaves, it really sets the tone for like what's going on, and also is a good first indication of Sonny's character and how he's like much more empathetic, and he's like, yeah, just get out of here, like let him out.
I love it. Yeah. Well, dude, I love how empathy is a very like very very important word for this movie. Like it's so wild how he like, and I love how everyone's kind of just like they can see immediately that this is just some like disheveled, like down on his luck, like frantic kid, and like they have these weapons, and it's very intimidating. And I love how you everyone's nervous and on edge, but there's always that kind of moment of like, what are you guys doing? Like, I don't know. They can like, it's weird how they can read the situation, and like they're just very like everyone's like kind of jovial at one point, and then it turns like. Well,
yeah,
edge,
they'll be like they'll be chilling like
like
anyone because they're like people because they're hanging out, they're joking and they're laughing, and then suddenly it's like, Sal picks up the machine gun and they're all like, get in the safe, get in the safe, get in the vault,
and everyone's so like compliant, if you will, but they're almost like they're cooperating just because it's like it is life or death.
Yeah.
But then I just feel like it's so, I don't know, to go from that life and death to like, chatting about the TV and criticizing them. I love how it's like the head clerk lady. She's just always criticizing him, and everyone else who's like, "Don't use your foul language." Like, I'm Christian. Like, it's like it's great how they like still.
But he's like, I say what I feel.
Yeah.
Was this? Have you seen this before?
No, I've never. Yeah. Do you know? I going through his like filmography. I really have not seen that much, and it's really sad because like this movie was so good, and it's like I clearly know how historic.
Yeah, of it. You know Al Pacino. You know what I mean,
right? Yeah.
God, Watch Network, dude. We should find a way to watch Network. I fucking love that movie.
I know you were. Well, yeah, you saw that like a week ago, and you won't shut up about it.
I saw it 2 years ago. But it did. I was just like, it was on my to watch list forever, and I finally watched it. I was just like, oh, yes.
Did he really direct Child's Play?
Not that one.
Oh, okay.
No, I know. I saw the same thing, too. I was
okay. I was like, no way.
And then I was like, oh, this is 70s. This is a different thing.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, right.
It'd be hilarious if it did. It'd be
He directed The Wiz?
Yeah, The Wiz.
It can't be the same one.
Yeah.
Wow, he did direct. Okay. No, it's like, it's wild. His footage. The one thing that I know
Before the Devil Knows You're Dead?
Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. I know it's wild.
It's so
this
underrated.
Guy started in the 50s, and he ended all the way in 2007.
I know.
That's such a, he literally was there for like almost all of film history. Like it was
Literally.
like almost like he was there for such a huge chunk, and it's so cool because he kept up with the times. Like and fucking Before the Devil Knows You're Dead was just it could have been a 32-year-old director coming in and making that movie.
Dude,
Like,
it felt fresh. That's a good movie.
it's such a good movie.
It's definitely underrated, and it's got some great dude. Ethan Hawke and Philip Seymour Hoffman, absolutely crushing that movie.
Oh yeah, and they crush.
They crush in all movies, but it's just like those two guys.
But
come on. And
well,
Marissa
yeah, and
Tomei,
it, like-
my gal.
Yeah,
I'm
Marissa
watching
Tomei,
that
dude.
movie again. I'm sorry.
Get out of here! Shut up.
I'm watching that movie again. Oh, dude, Michael Shannon's in it. All right, sorry, we're getting off track here.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's still, yeah. Same.
I forgot
same
Michael
director,
Shannon. I'm obsessed with Michael Shannon. How did I forget he was in it?
Yeah.
But this movie, it's easy to see. I don't know where at in Al Pacino's filmography it is exactly, but it's just like young Al Pacino is in like.
I can tell you, he just got
perfect
done
form.
with Godfather 2, and so he was.
So he's top,
he was,
top of his like. He's like, boom! This guy's A-list actor star.
Yeah. No, like that's how come I was making that little joke earlier. It's like a director that's already established. He got established. I mean, 12 Angry Men was critically acclaimed then in 1957. So he's had, how many decades to become, this director. It's like everything he makes, it's going to be like charged. It's going to be made well. But with this movie, it's the first time that he really like experimented and really got behind just like straight up improv. Like,
this movie's got a raw vibe to it that I fucking love.
And it is you and your oh my god, what's that called when you just your comment? Oh my god, you're from Letterboxd. So what you said, your critique about it, you mentioned that it has that specific feel that you get like only the 70s could capture that like just
dude.
the raw like the I don't know it
really was
like
in the 70s when you really start getting like that's like Scorsese's coming on like full form, like you're getting more of like
Hollywood's dead.
Yeah, you're
like,
getting more of these
really
like outsider independent voices coming into film and making more kind of like edgier, more experimental, more controversial movies. You know what I mean?
And off script too. Like,
dude, off script? No, it was like,
Yeah.
it's art. It's like, hey man, we're just fucking, we're making jazz here, like let's just fucking, let's just roll with it. Film's a collaborative process. It's not gone are the days of the fucking Hollywood backlot. This is like, yo, we're gonna shoot in the fucking streets of Brooklyn with the 16 millimeter on my shoulder, and you know what I mean? Like that's how we roll.
No, dude, legitimately, that's
And it feels like it brings a certain energy to the movie. That's I feel like is not only is specific to this movie the way it does it, but specific to the era. To like I felt like I was like, man, am I in 1970s Brooklyn right now? 'Cause it's like I think I am. I think I'm on the streets of Brooklyn right now, and it's hot as fuck.
Dude, it's so I love when a movie
sweat.
Yes, I love when a movie like it's cool because that is what film does so well is get intimate, baby. Like you like every time it shows like when they're sweaty and you can feel it and you know that like it's fake sweat probably mixed with some real sweat because like the intensity of this shoot
on the lights
like, that's
too, it's just hot as fuck.
Oh yeah, dude. And actually what's cool is this was all shot natural. So it's like
it makes sense because it does have like a lot of that light, especially obviously when they shoot outside. It doesn't feel like oh, let me like light this thing. Like it definitely felt chaotic and bombastic and natural. Like it felt like the cameras filming the movie might be just one of the cameras for the broadcast,
Right, that's exactly it. And that was actually what's beautiful is in like Lumet, he has in an interview I was watching, he talks about the opening, that all that B-roll that just shoots the city streets. It's literally just him in a Volt and in like an old station wagon, just like fucking Pee-Pee Tom style, like shooting people out his window. Nice. And he's filming it all, and like they edit it together, and then he wanted it to go right into their car when they're coming, and he wanted you to just feel like it was B-roll again, like you were just
there.
walking through.
It did kind of feel like that. Streets. Like I loved that. It was like, so I'd first watched this movie back. This will come up time and time again. Like I watched so many movies in like junior high and early high school because I was grounded all the time. And so I watched so many movies, and this is when I watched Dog Day Afternoon, and I really liked it. But so I remember quite a bit about it. It did leave an impression with me. I thought it was pretty great. But it was like, it was still like so long ago. There was like a lot of beats I don't remember exactly. Like part of me thought that the kid that got left out at the beginning was his wife that he married, the trans woman later.
Yeah.
I was expecting that, but then like someone totally new came in, and fucking the performance that he gave was so good. It was like one scene and it was so good.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Well,
Holy crap.
Everyone crushed the acting in this.
Yeah. Well, and what's so cool is like so on Reddit, if you visit our coldest zone of knowledge, I posted the actual article, and it is like there's a lot of like photos from the incident, because this was based off a true event, as it states at the beginning, and as it factually happened. It's like really, really like similar, and even in just like casting wise, they nailed it, dude. It's like I can't believe how
looking at
like,
the photos
Al Pacino,
and like it's funny because you're like Al Pacino is coming off the fucking Serpico and Godfather. They're like, oh, he's the big star, but it's like he actually seems kind of like him, like from the little archive footage and the photos that I saw. And they really created that scene out on the street. Like just all that just felt really, I was surprised at how close it seemed from like an objective outside experience. Cause the real guy was like, blah, 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 whatever, but it seems like it's to the telling, it's very close.
Right. Well, and that, what's neat about it is like the screenplay was written, and it was like kind of like the time. Frank Pearson is the gentleman who wrote it, and like he wrote it based upon the Life magazine article, and it is like it's kind of like the 70s where it's just more of a treatment than a script.
Right.
Like
yeah. It's definitely like here's the series
got like 12
of events.
scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the like this movie was heavily improvised. Like 90% of it's improvised, and they just spent like 3 weeks blocking it in studio and then shot it on location live. And it's like, yeah. So like,
it felt
all
like
of it
that.
is like,
it felt location, and that's why that rawness and like that it was
well, the
popping
realism
off in the 70s and the realism.
Yeah,
because
and all the
like,
people
it didn't
too,
feel like a set.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was like it's like the extras. The extras were like real people. It was just kind of like it was like, yeah, you're in this area, like it's Brooklyn, like New York. Forget like get out of here, dude. It's so packed with people. They literally were like real people. Were like, all right, just here crowding around, and it's so great. And that I love. Oh man, I love that of film. I love that energy you can get. And it's like Al Pacino. He wanted to, after he did Godfather, he was really exhausted with film, and he wanted to go back to stage, and he passed on this script. And then the funny thing is, Dustin Hoffman, his like apparently rival, got casted, and when he found out, he was like, "All right, I'll come back. I'll do it. I want to do it because I don't want him. Yeah, I don't have to do it."
I'm trying to imagine Dustin Hoffman. I think he would do a great job too, though. But
me too. Yeah.
But I was never really like the biggest fan of Al Pacino. It's like one of the shameful movies that I've
Jack
never.
and Jill.
Oh God, one of the shameful movies as a film fucking nerd or whatever that I've not seen is I've not seen Scarface.
Oh really?
No, I've never seen Scarface.
Wow. Okay.
David keeps telling me to watch it, and I will eventually one day.
Dude. Scarface is amazing.
Well, we'll have to find
both of them are fantastic.
See, that's the funny thing. I've seen the 30s one.
Oh yeah. The 31 is like very like it's super like pro cop and like totally like bad guys never win, but like the original or the new Scarface.
That's like when I was first being introduced to Al Pacino. It was like, Godfather, and which was great, but I was mostly like seeing him in like Heat, and then And,
Yeah,
and then I was seeing Scarface.
late 80s,
I didn't
early
see
90s.
Scarface, but I was like, whatever. And but then watching this, I was like, yeah, man, he's fucking great. And like good young Al Pacino is fucking crushing it. And we gotta just take a sec to shout out John Cazale, who
I know
plays
yeah,
Sal in
dude.
this, and he's awesome in this. But he's awesome in everything, and that's the thing. I forgot he existed because it's sad because he's only been in like 5 movies, and they're all been
his
like
life.
He's been in the Godfather movies. He was in this. He was in like Deer Hunter and like one other one. I'm gonna look at him now so I don't look like an asshole.
Well,
but
but
I'm
dude,
like, man, and then he died.
The irony is
I know he died of lung cancer. Is that what
lung
you're gonna
cancer.
say?
And his character in this movie was like, no, I don't smoke. It's bad for your body. You know,
I know.
Body's a
And he
temple.
literally, I
Yeah.
felt that too because I knew that going in.
Yeah.
And I was watching it, and he was like, what? You don't smoke? And he's like, why? And he's like, I don't want the cancer. And then I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah.
he literally dies of cancer like a few years later.
Yeah, it really is. It's really tragic. And he is definitely like, he's super subdued. And in the interview again,
Oh, the conversation is the other one. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, right. God, I haven't seen that either. Dude, I don't even want to admit it on air, which I probably already have, actually, now that I think of it. But I've never seen Godfather. And it's
really?
It's like, yeah, dude, I don't know. It's definitely one of those movies I know I need to. It's clearly
I
a
need to watch
classic.
it again. So maybe we should find a way to shoehorn it in because it's like,
Maybe we'll do it as like a bonus or something.
I watched The Godfather the same time I watched this, which was, 15 years ago. And I remember being like, back then too, I was just like, yeah, it was fine. It was overrated.
And that's what I think that's honestly, I feel a little pretentious. Like I'm just kind of like, I
The
know
greatest
it's a
movie
classic.
of all time. Calm down. Okay, everyone just calm the fuck down.
Right. But I know it'll be good. It's like with this movie, I didn't think this movie was overrated, but I was kind of like, oh yeah, I knew enough about this movie going into it that it's kind of like, I don't really need to see it. Or I just like, I haven't watched it because I've always wanted to. It's on my list. So now that I have, I'm like, God, why am I doing this to myself? I love.
It's part of the reason we have
movies,
the film
and
club,
it's-
buddy, is because we're busy boys,
Getting
and
through a list.
this is creating a false obligation to watch
Right.
those movies.
Well, I love it. We get to talk to the community out there, and
Well, it's great.
They get it. They recommend it. It's beautiful.
It's awesome. And me personally, I'm a horrible procrastinator, so it's like
Yeah.
sometimes if I'm like, oh, I got to watch this movie for homework. And then I don't feel like it beforehand, but as soon as I'm into it, I'm like, yes.
Dude, that's exactly how I felt bad because I watched it last night and like Victoria like fell asleep on the couch with this, and I'm like, God, this is so like, it's so intense.
It's gripping too, dude. The first 45 minutes, I'm like on the edge of my seat. Like when the bank robbery is like first popping off, I'm just like, I love this shit. I love fucking like these bank robbery movies, and then obviously it turns into like this hostage fucking fiasco fucking siege movie.
It's so cool because it's like it's true to life, like what happened. Like, he actually has like, a transgender wife that like that's part of the motive, and then it's kind of like it's got like a happy ending. Like he was sentenced to 20 years and he only spent like I think like 3 or 4 in prison.
Really?
And he got and he got out and he got paid for the movie rights, dude, because this happened in 1962, and then he got money for the movie rights and was able to give it to his wife that was able to get her sex change, and then he like got out and like I actually don't know if they got together again. It didn't really explain that, but like then he died in like or no, oh my gosh, yeah, that was tragic. So she died in the 80s, early 80s or mid 80s from AIDS, and then he continued to live his life, and he died in like 2005 or 2006. It's like
crazy.
He lived a long time. He lived through it all. So it's like it's kind of wild to have like a movie made after you, and like it be so iconic and like
I wonder how many times
so
it was
bizarre.
just like at the bar and been like,
yeah.
Yeah, that you hear I robbed a bank once. No, you fucking didn't. Yeah, you ever see that movie? Yeah, Al Pacino played me in a movie. You know what I mean? And they're like, "Let me buy you a drink once he proves it."
Yeah, right. Well, like they play it on the bar TV, like talk to him. He's like, yeah, that. He's like, knows all the beats.
It's
like,
based on my life.
Right, or like tells like he probably kept like the life article in like his wallet or something like folded up.
Well, that's good. I hope it went down like that way
but-
because it does like this movie goes a long ways to be like that they're not bad men, they're just desperate men.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean?
And
Which is a good way of doing that because even like Sonny's in over his head, but then now he's got this platform that he feels like this is his 15 minutes of fame almost. So he's out there preaching, like screaming Attica and be like, fuck the cops. Like,
Well, that's so great, dude. That history too, like
yeah.
oh,
Because that
yeah,
was just coming
Attica-
off the fucking, the
Well, and I was thinking the whole time I'm watching this too with like the cops. It's like it's wild the sheer numbers that they got involved. It's so bizarre because I'm like nowadays you'd probably we're so militarized. They're like it'd only be like maybe 45 cops max, and that's that's generous. But they would come in and he would have been dead within the first hour. It's just I don't even.
oh
like,
yeah, they would have just.
I feel
fucking-
like
they just would have
yeah.
gassed the place and
dude,
ran it.
no. Right.
These days,
Which
they
is-
just would have
which
been
is-
like the SWAT machines, and the cops would have rolled
Yeah.
in a fucking tank. You know?
No, they would have just crushed the front door down, with an assault vehicle, and whoever got in the critical or whatever collateral damage, whatever. That's just part of the report. And but I mean, not to justify like it's wild because back then they're like, look at them, they got like they've got all the snipers, and they even talk about how like they've got the militia here, and it's like everybody's trying to come in, and they portray that like franticness on both ends, where it's like even the cops, like Moretti's like, oh, he's like fuck, and he's like put the guns down,
Dude,
like,
he was
he's
awesome
trying
too.
to get
Just like, everyone back the fuck up because there's like
back the
people
fuck
running
up.
on past
and
the
he's
line.
like, and I love how he was like, they're behind me. They're like everyone's improv in this is so good. He's like they're behind the building. I can't talk to them. They're behind the building. Like it's like, dude, everybody's line. Everyone. It just it's so authentic. It feels like
well, there's great
intensity
lines
of
too
both
where
ends.
he's like, I think one of my favorite lines in the movie where he's letting the FBI agent. And he's like, you'd really love to kill me, wouldn't you? And he's like, no. And he's like, you'd just be doing your job, right? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, well, I hope the guy who kills me does it because he hates my fucking guts, not because he's doing his job.
Not
Like-
because he's doing his job, dude. That's such a
And I'm
good
like,
line.
it just goes to show, like, I feel like it's his character, like the passion and stuff. And just John Cazale just being the fucking unhinged Sal. Like, I mean, he's not unhinged. He's
gosh.
just, like, so
Nobody-
sweaty and on edge. And he's just like, hey, Sonny, dude, were you serious about the bodies thing? And he's like, I don't know, man. Like, it's whatever. And he's like, because I am.
Because I am.
'Cause I'm ready to do it. And he's like, oh,
Yeah.
shit. Calm down. And
And
then
I
he's
love-
like, no, you said we were going to kill ourselves. Let's just fucking do it.
Yeah.
He's like,
Well,
"God, Sal, calm down, man. Just calm down, Sal.
You can get that because Sal's.
He's not like a
Sal's not
fucking
doing
psycho,
it.
though. He's not like a Mr.
That's what's great.
Blonde in like
No,
a
no,
Reservoir
no.
Dogs or something. Like, I'm going to torture you because I like it.
And he's not. I feel like he's doing it because he kind of is. I mean, if it does follow the narrative, this was a little confusing in this movie. But if they follow the narrative where like they actually are like vets, like Vietnam
Right.
vets,
Well, like even for the
I mean-
movie, yeah, it makes sense.
yeah, right.
Because the way he's
It
like
would make sense,
super,
and-
like super cautious and like super, like the way
Yeah.
he sets himself
they-
up, like he's scared, though, you know.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
they
you can tell he's
they
just
do
scared.
mention it. The mom even says like, he's from the army. It's like that kind of stuff. So if that exists, but then there's another line in it that kind of contradicted that. But anyways, if they are like that, it's like it totally like there is that desperation that like they feel discarded and like they're not like doing this, like they talk about bank insurance and stuff. It's your classic heist. Like,
this has
I'm
got
not doing
a
it.
lot
I don't want anyone
for especially for mid 70s. This has got a lot of like
dude.
just dipping its toe in. Like it's not about that stuff necessarily, but it does a lot of like social issues from police brutality to gay rights to like how we treat our veterans. Like it kind of dabbles in all that kind of stuff, like really tastefully without like making that the whole thing. Like it's all part of the fabric that makes that story and like sets the backdrop for the circumstances to happen, which I think is what makes it all the more interesting, you know, because it's like the fact you see him teaching one of the bank tellers how to do like the gun salute, like to do all the chart.
That's
like
so that's so human. It's like
it's so human, and it just shows that it's just like, oh, his like he was just a kid in Vietnam and all this shit. Comes home and it's like has a wife that he loves, but he's not his true self, and blah blah blah. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, it's a great-
that's so heartbreaking.
it's a great
but,
character.
and they give you enough. Yeah, exactly. And I like it because it's like I love it because like the incel that is of like falling down where you have that kind of character that is doing this because he's self-righteous. You have a character like this that is like, I don't know, that there is more, I feel like more complication to it, and just more like desperation that is human. Like
Falling Down was not a good movie.
No, it's not. No, it's not a good movie. But that kind of character,
I see it pop up all
like,
the time where someone's like, oh, Falling Down's underrated.
I'm like, no, dude. But I like to. It's nice now to use Falling Down. I've seen it.
It's a good example.
Kind of
yeah.
It's the, what is that, like, barometer or whatever, it's the test to see,
like the litmus test.
The litmus test, yeah, to compare it next to like another movie and be like, well, did you go full Falling Down, or are you like, are you trying to rein it a little more?
Right.
Yeah. But that just, heck, it's so human, and I will definitely watch this movie again and try to find the other pieces, because like watching it the first time, I'm like, man, there are a lot more layers, and I knew that there was some like like gay rights and like LGBTQ plus community involvement in this movie, but I didn't know I didn't know that part was so true. It's all like genuine. It's really cool, and something that was really nice that LeMay did was he didn't take that and exploit that relationship. It's like it's commented in this movie and it's used, but he didn't use any live footage, because there's actual footage from their wedding, and there's like actual conversations that he could have used, and he decided to just go improv with it and just use like their relationship as like the basis. And so
that's smart though, because it just allows for a different kind of realness than trying to emulate this other thing.
Yeah, Pacino really gets to get in there and like create the character. It's like that's what's so great about this. This is one of those like based on like true events that I feel like I'm like, oh yeah, they just used the structure of it, but got to make like a really
well. It's like kind of like what we were saying in the last episode. Catch Me If You Can, go listen to that one, where it's like they also, but that was like a more extreme example of like, it gets to a point where it's like, no, we took the story, but now we're making a movie. This is a different thing. And I think that's a fine line always to walk when making something that's based on a true story, or like a biopic based on someone's life. It's like to find the balance between like, I'm making a piece of art that is still technically a type of fiction, the way that it's made. It's not like a nonfiction documentary, you know what I mean? So I'm still trying to tell this movie in the most effective way possible. But like, how much do I stay true? And so I think that's a good decision to be like, here's the beats, here's what's true, and I'm staying true to it, but I'm like running peripheral to it. I think that this movie does it really well, whereas like Catch Me If You Can was like, that was an example of like, yeah, like we said, like print the legend. Like it gets to a point where it's like, I don't really care if it's all true. It's exciting and it's an awesome movie, so we're going to print that. It's like this one's like, no, we're going to hit all the right beats and stay true to the story, but we're going to do our own truth to make it feel more authentic.
And like this is a good example of I really like those points are fantastic, because it is
thank you. Thank you.
You can have both movies can be interesting, but I guess I like when it feels a little more human. I don't know, you're not like a superhero that can like print money and be invincible. It's like I like when it's like somebody who is sympathetic, and vulnerable and fragile too. Like I love all the times that he like doesn't trust the cops, and he's like afraid they're gonna like hurt him, and it's like, God, it's so cool. It's great.
So speaking of human, the part I don't know if it's my favorite part. We'll get to that, but definitely one of my favorite parts is that I thought was pretty emotional and was great acting and great character and all that was when his mom comes and he's just out there to her and just like how reserved he's trying to be with it, like he's holding it together but barely. He's like, I'm just a fuck up, I'm poison, like just get away from me. And then he's like, someone take her home, like I can't take it anymore. But it's not overacted, you know what I mean? Like I feel like that could have easily been like, you get her out of here, mom, I fucking love you. I know.
Dude,
it's like
not
it could have been
up at all.
No, it could have been way too much, but it was just like the perfect amount. And it was like really affecting for me. Cause it was the mom that brought like the really like the waterworks and like all those crazy dramatics. And he's like trying to calm her down, but he's saying he's very being self-deprecating while doing it. And it's just been like, yeah, no, I'm a fuck up. This is my fault. I can't even rob a bank right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's perfect. I don't know. It's really great. And it's the whole movie. It does I think my first complaint when I watched this when I was 15 was how abrupt the ending was. But, but now watching it, I feel like it fits the like pace of this movie where it's like it's haptic and then it like slows for a sec and then if it like then you're like, nope, we're in a hostage situation. Bam, there it goes again. You know what I mean? It pops off again and everything gets real again. But it's just like, how else did you expect it to end? You know, it's like that's how it goes. Yeah. Like you're lucky you made it this far. You know what I mean?
And like I was mentioning before with Scarface, the original, they do it where it's like it literally is like crime never pays. and in this it's like the like that's why like I kind of mentioned in my synopsis, like the cost of their actions was a human life, and you know, and this just kind of his loss of his freedom, his loss of like who he is, and it disrupted like the rest of his life, and it caused like such chaos, and it killed, and it like the guilt of, you know, the death of his friend and the loss of his you know,
and the cost of the operation to the taxpayers was far outweighs the amount of money that was stolen. But it's about, and I think that's interesting to the point where it's like it's about the cops, like they have to win. Like, that's their mentality, and it's like they're the villains, even when some of the characters are, you know, humanized, like the detective, like the main, was it the surgeon or whatever that was from the first half of the movie?
Ready or whatever.
Yeah. But it's just like, at the end, it's like, no, we're going to fucking shoot this guy, and obviously these people are in danger, so there's that. But it's like, it's interesting that it's like, you're rooting, and the crowd in the movie, like, you're rooting for these bank robbers, and it's like, they could, like, yeah, they didn't kill anyone, but it's like they could have, and it's just all about like perspective, you know, like if this movie would have been shot from of the police's perspective, trying to frame them as the good guys, and they're like, we finally killed the evil Sal who was gonna kill those women, you know what I mean? Even though he's just like scared and got tricked and probably could have got out of it without getting killed, but
I know.
And the girl like, at the end is like, hey, I know you're this is your first time flying, so don't be scared, you know. Which was another great moment for his humanization, which I thought was really good.
And the real person it's based off of was only 18 years old, so that's why like his casting choice was really like outlandish because he's like completely different.
He's like 40.
You know, it's like where Al Pacino was like spot on, like facial structure and body posture and everything. It's like really spot on. It's like Sal, his character was, you know, a little different, but I think that he was like the best choice.
No, I think he fit really well. He's got that really kind of like manic, barely contained, nervous energy that he brings to it. That's like a certain solemnness too. That's like it's a really subtle but like really great supporting performance that doesn't ever take away. Like I don't know, it's like a perfect supporting role because it's like it doesn't ever try to outshine the main star and the main point. Like he's a supporting, like you see so many supporting movies where it's like, oh, they stole the fucking show, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they can.
But it's like he's there perfectly effective when he needs to be. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like the big ones that everyone gushes about, you know, it's like, oh my god, never mind. I just had a brain aneurysm, I guess. Anyway,
it's all right. Yeah.
Moving on. So, what was your favorite part
then? God, I don't know, dude. It's like I really do. I like when they go to fix the air conditioning, you know, and he's like, it's like he sees. I don't know how he sees it. He sees like a cop going up the wall or something and scaling through the window. And it's like there's only 2 shots fired in this whole movie.
Yeah.
And it's one when he shoots through the window. And I just love when he shoots and everybody scatters.
The editing right there is great too, because it's just like, it doesn't follow like the continuity of the sound. It's just like, bam, 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 the whole street. Like everyone's like, oh, fuck, you know?
Yeah, it goes through. And then I really like just that for like production.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
No, and then I loved when he's going through, and it's like not necessarily a whole part. It's like the first like after the first like 5 minutes when he's frantically going through and he's like he knows how like bank procedures work and he's like look, you need to take this 100 out, you know, and he's going through and he knows how to do it and he's like throwing the money up.
Yeah, he's like, I know the tricks.
Yeah,
These are all marks.
Dude, I know the tricks. Dude, Al Pacino's performance in that was so perfect, and I'm surprised that I haven't really gotten into Al Pacino, and I'm like, okay, this is cool.
That's what I'm saying. This made me not only want to go back and watch more Sidney Lumet movies again, but also like, yeah, like maybe soon is the time to revisit Godfather, to actually finally watch fucking Scarface.
Dude, we should do that too. Scarface is amazing. His performance in that, he's like a chameleon, dude. He doesn't nowhere near, or he's not like the same character at all, or not even like the same person in this movie. You know, he's had so much time to like.
I think I never
really
watched
hone his craft.
Yeah, I never watched it for probably the same reason you didn't really watch Godfather, because it's just like there's so much Scarface like memorabilia, and there's like such a culture around his character, where it's like you see people in Scarface like sweatpants, being like, "What are you, a bunch of fucking cockroaches?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's okay."
Yeah, like say hello to my little friend. You're like,
Thank you.
And that's same with like Godfather. It's like I know a lot of the big beats, like you massacred my boy and like that stuff. But it's like I'm just like I know it's gonna be a good movie. I know it. I'm not avoiding it because I think it's like gonna be pretentious, or I'm not trying to be pretentious, and I don't think it's gonna be overrated. I know it's gonna be a good film.
Yeah, that's true.
I just haven't seen it yet, bud. I don't know. Sorry. What's your favorite part in this film that we watched?
Probably like the beginning, the first, like just the opening. Not necessarily like I do love like the shots of Brooklyn, but like when it first shows them going to the bank, like I get this such excited, nervous energy when watching bank robbery movies.
Yeah,
I love it, and there's not enough that like tick the right boxes for me. Like this does shit for a lot of ways. But it's like when it's like about to pop off and you're like, oh my God. And then he's like, I want to back out. And he's like, you can't, the gun's already out. It started. Yeah, and,
dude.
And and then it's like the whole like, oh nope, there's a robbery going on. He
goes out. The rifle out of the box.
Oh, it's so good. Dude, yeah. He gets stuck.
Yeah. He gets stuck on it. And it's like,
the guy comes back to tell her that there's a girl hiding under the desk.
Yeah.
Like,
and I love how the guard's amazing. He just like, he's like
petrified.
All right. Well, then I love he's scared, but he's just very like calm. He like totally like locks the door for him. It's like very like he kind of freezes but it's like everybody's so compliant and such a like terrified for their life, but like totally functioning in their actions.
We should watch more bank robbery movies because it's like that's my favorite part.
That should be a genre, dude.
Hell or High Water is the best parts. Is the bank robbery scenes, and those are always great. Those are the best parts for sure.
Well, dude, can we talk about? Heat 2 is like that intensity.
Yeah, Heat's fucking awesome. I haven't seen Heat in years though either.
No, me either. I really only remember the like.
Weren't we gonna do heist movies? I feel like it was up. We were gonna do heist movies for the film club.
What?
And then we ended up doing because we were obviously up until now we're doing genres and then we'd pick a genre between the two genres. When we first started doing votes, because it was between heist and something else, and I feel like the other one won, so we never did heist.
Well, let's do heist movies because I would like to see. I'd watch Heat again, and
maybe we should.
I don't know.
Well,
there's more out there.
Yeah. There's more out there than Heat. No,
there's got to be like.
I'm gonna do a poll that's just like what heist movie should we watch, and all 5 movies are Heat.
Heat. Yeah, Heat. Well, no, it would be Hell or High Water, Dog Day Afternoon, and
right. Anyway,
but.
I can't switch pages. No, one person.
Oh, here I'll look at. Oh,
no, I got my caphone.
Your caphone.
Yeah,
nice,
I do. One person said something about John Cazale being a pimp, daddy pimp. Let me see. So, John Wayne 5749 says John Cazale, top 5 actor of all time. Don't at me, no cap. I may be an old man. I'm not hip with the lingo, but I won't, sir.
Yeah. I won't. Yeah, I won't. No, yeah, dude, no cap.
No cap.
You want to hear
me.
some?
John Cazale is pretty great because again, another movie that I watched around this time was Deer Hunter, and I really liked it.
Dude.
So,
Yeah, I remember.
maybe
I
I'll-
read
I'll
Deer
do
Hunter.
it.
I read Deer Hunter first, and then watched the movie. And the book is a little more brutal, but the movie's like there's only like one scene not in the movie.
Well, it's like the best
And
Christopher Walken, but
It's
was it
so good,
It was one of the last episodes we were talking about. I was like, dude, at one point, Robert De Niro. What did we watch recently with Robert De Niro? Am I dumb? We watched a movie.
I don't know.
We
I
watched a
don't know. It was
movie
probably, like,
recently.
what was the last movie we watched, dude? I do this
Lisa.
and then I forget. It's like vomit. I just say it out.
We
and
have
people are
brain
like,
damage or something.
Have you ever? They're
Oh,
like,
Goodfellas,
they're like,
you fucking
have you ever
idiot.
seen? Oh, yeah, Goodfellas.
But I remember,
brother.
because in Goodfellas, I was like, oh, yeah, dude, Robert De Niro used to be one of my favorite actors. And it's like, I watched Goodfellas around the same time I watched Deer Hunter. And I was like, oh, yeah, Robert De Niro, be my dad. You know?
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah, dude. I'll
and then he
smoke.
never-
I'll
he
be
never
naughty.
was.
I'll be naughty with Robert De Niro, dude. I'll smoke in the gym or whatever in the auditorium or whatever with Robert De Niro.
Oh, God, yeah. I was so scared of Robert De Niro. Because that was the... No, I watched Cape Fear before,
Cape Fear, yeah.
before
Cabin
those
Fear.
movies. Because Cape Fear was a part of my childhood. I watched Cape
yeah.
Fear when I was, like, far too
That's a
young.
good childhood.
Dude, I watched it when I
That's
was
a healthy.
like 8,
That's a healthy
and it
childhood right there,
terrified
friend.
me. It fucking terrified me. He's
I
so
saw
scary.
Exorcist when I was 8 too, and that was
Dude,
not a
Cape-
good choice.
I'm sorry, but Cape Fear is 10 times scarier than The Exorcist.
Are you real right now, dude?
Well, The Exorcist
I
is
guess
like
that's
demonic
true.
possession.
I guess that's true.
Cape Fear, he's just like
It's
a
just a real-
rapist.
He's a real dude. Yeah, he's like your uncle. So it's like you just,
I was afraid
Like
that he was gonna fucking. I don't know. He's just so scary. He's
he's a human trafficker, dude.
We already watched. We're a little off track here, but we already watched Cape Fear back in the day, way back in the day for the film club. Before we did the podcast, though, it was when we were just doing the film club, just to do the film club before the podcast. Do you remember that?
What?
We watched
Cape
Cape
for the
Fear was
podcast?
like the second, like because the first genre
'cause we
we
did
did
war movies.
was war, and then the second one was like
And then
thriller.
it was thriller.
Yeah, and Cape Fear was a part of that. We watched Cape Fear, and we watched there's like a couple other ones. But we'll go back and revisit those because we're gonna go back to war again. And we're like, it's nearly time.
Oh yeah, no, I mean we'll end up. It's all like we're hitting our genre.
Well, that's the
cap.
thing now. This is also we're just having a production meeting now. The way that we're doing the polls now, we don't have to stick to any month. We could just one random week just be like Robert De Niro movies, and then just have 5 Robert De Niro movies. You know.
That's true. Yeah. Or we could kind of like hide it too, like embed it in it, and just put movies out that all have Robert De Niro in them. But he doesn't have to be like Robert De Niro.
I
movies.
know, but that requires
Anyways,
a lot of thought from me, and we've already
I know.
established I hate thinking.
But dude, I can help. 2 minds, man. But I'm going to tell you the money minute real quick. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
lay
on
it on
track.
me, lay it on
That's
me, lay it on
part of our podcast.
Back
we are
on
at
track. Sydney Lumet, dog date afternoon.
Dog
dog date.
afternoon.
How many
Dog's
dogs?
date afternoon. So it's 2 dogs. One's a Weimaraner and one's a Shih Tzu, and they love each other. But so we're gonna talk about money real quick. Everybody makes the world go round, and that's what Al Pacino needed in this movie. For this film,
Pacino.
they took $1,800,000 and they spun it into some celluloid and they shot it through a camera and they produced $50 million, which is pretty dang good.
It's pretty good.
That's
Well,
a fine.
that's
That's
like-
a fine turnaround.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean,
That's great.
that's like what, like 40%? I don't know.
And
Actually,
that's-
no. Don't. I redact that. I don't know math.
I
So,
yeah, I know that's 40%.
very good.
No, it's like
very good amount.
500%
times.
something.
40 times is what I was trying to say. Whatever. Shut up.
40, approximately 40
40
times, 25 to 40 times the amount
Yeah.
that they spent,
You know
which is
what?
a
You're right.
great turnaround.
That's a fine turnaround.
Just under $2 million. It's like obviously for the 70s, and $1 million is still quite a bit, but considering the crew involved and everything, I was like, I feel like there's a really safe $2 million that the studio was like,
Right.
I'll give you $5.
Well, they
And-
only shot. They shot 3 weeks, dude.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
well, that's what I'm
pretty
saying. It's
fast.
like Al Pacino,
Or
Sidney
they-
Lumet.
Yeah, no, they
John
shot 2
Cazale,
weeks. Excuse me.
post.
3 weeks to block, and then they shot 2 weeks live on the set, and they had 1 night to shoot, or like one. It was something like 8 hours to shoot on the tarmac of JFK, which is pretty wild.
They actually shot on the tarmac of JFK?
Dude,
you would never know. Like, it's just
no,
any
I don't know why.
airfield.
That right there is like, that's also kind of the fun. That's the hubris of the Hollywood director.
Yeah.
Is like, they're
It's
like,
gotta
"We
be
have to
JFK."
you could shoot that shit on like, you could shoot that in a fucking in like, you could literally just take some like broken down piece of highway of Hollywood and just make it look like a tarmac.
They
but
can
no,
literally just go anywhere that there's a jet and just have the
right.
jet in the background.
Yeah.
But I guess
Yeah, but he was
they get the
consistent.
money shot at the end of the huge pan out. Like if I'm not familiar with JFK Airport, but if I was, I might be like, oh shit, like that's the big it all came to head at JFK.
Well, and it's
Fun
cool
but
that
unnecessary.
shot- well, I love that shot kind of mimics the beginning shot where it's like the boat on the
Right.
harbor, and it's just like that huge, like that really big,
Yeah.
like zoom out.
Yeah,
It's
that's
cool.
nice. I like that.
It's a good movie, man.
Yeah, it's pretty good. What else we got? Say
Do
don't
you have Travis's?
don't at me.
Oh yeah, we did the Reddit.
Don't
do
at me.
Travis's.
I'll do Travis's thing. So I got to do it a little bit different though, because in order for hopefully for this video to work, if any of you were watching the video, I'm not, until I get a better setup, I'm not switching windows because I think that fucks my video up. So I'm gonna just play it off my phone here. All right.
Yeah, play it. Well,
Can you hear it?
I'm
Hey
listening.
guys, before I talk about Dog Day Afternoon, I just wanted to say that I think Jordan was wrong when he said that my guy Tom Hanks is just fine. I mean, Forrest Gump alone. But then there's Philadelphia, or Saving Private Ryan, or The Da Vinci Code, The Green Mile,
Yeah, you fucking
and my
idiot.
favorite, The Road to Perdition. Tom Hanks MVP all the way. All right, so Dog Day Afternoon, in my eyes, should be a requirement in every acting school. Pacino did an amazing job of portraying a confused, stressed out, nervous, hysteric, paranoid, romantic, struggling working-class guy who got in way over his head in an attempted bank robbery. So my question for you two is, if this movie was remade now, which young actor do you think could pull off the role of Sonny? Thank you.
Good question. Thanks, Travis.
That's
good,
a
good
great,
question.
dude.
You
Okay,
You
okay,
bumbling
Travis.
idiot. You
Travis,
Hanks
Travis.
is a national
I've
treasure.
Never,
What did I say?
I never said I don't think he's a good actor. I said I think he is overrated and he's a cannibal because there's something. There's no way that
It's like Army Hammer and him are just fucking cannibals.
Yeah. Well, dude, no, or not even a camel. He just like
camel?
at one drunken night he came to a crossroads and like some deity was like, I will, take your soul in line for like 20, $100 million grossing movies. Like he's just like, yeah, I'll take that deal. I don't know. He's great. I love all those movies. You named all these fantastic movies. I've seen them all. I know Tom Hanks. He's got my money. Turner and Hooch. I love it, dude. The dogs eating shoelaces. It's hilarious.
I agree with. I feel like I'm the middleman because I do agree with Travis because he is.
Yes.
And Captain Phillips, he's great. He's fucking. Obviously, he's early.
We get it.
He was great from the early days, but there's something I'm not. Only a few times I've been like, oh yeah, that guy can fucking act, and it's like Castaway, like we said last time. But it's
He's
like
always just playing himself.
I haven't had that moment
Or-
where it's like in this movie with Al Pacino where I'm like, oh, I forgot that was Al. But like he was so engrossed, like forgot it was Al Pacino. Like I've never had a moment where I'm like, oh, Tom Hanks is so into the role, I forgot that was Tom Hanks. Like it's always Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks is
and
like
I don't
in
know
the
if it's
Illuminati,
just-
dude. He just shows up and he's like
is,
like
yeah.
Ellen or something, and he just
is.
like kind of wiggles around and gets money. I don't know.
Hey, whoa,
he's
whoa,
great.
whoa, whoa.
He's great. He's great, Travis. He's
You're
great.
gonna alienate our fucking number one fan, Travis. I'm sorry. I apologize
Travis, no.
on his behalf.
Travis, okay.
He doesn't know
We
what
talked-
he's talking about.
We talked earlier, and he did tell me that we're cool.
I'll still
Confirmation.
maintain to be your friend, but if you ever say anything about Tom Hanks again, I swear to God, I'll
No,
slit
yeah,
your throat.
I was, yeah.
fucking drive this bus off a cliff.
No, I'm switching my letterbox to Tom Hanks as my favorite movie. It's just
shouldn't.
Tom Hanks. But okay.
The best Tom Hanks movie
so-
is Money Pit. Probably no.
Money Pit. No, Money Pit's
fine.
amazing.
It's classic.
Dude. No, Money Pit's really dope. I love Turner and Hooch, like I said. But anyways,
yes.
Can you just answer the frickin' question that Travis asked? Because I like this question a lot.
What
And
do
I
you?
I have my answer.
What's your answer? Let me.
I
steal
have
mine.
I have my answer. Even though this gentleman is, kind of a trash bag, like he is a piece of shit, and I still respect him as an actor, but I don't have to respect him as a human being.
Mel Gibson, like modern day Mel Gibson.
Actually,
it's like 70-year-old Mel Gibson.
Yeah. Okay, that like no, no, yeah, dude, no, Mel Gibson can fall off a cliff, but no, I love Mel Gibson. Everyone's great, but
I don't like.
I really do not like Mel Gibson, but he's done whatever he does.
We talked about this last time too.
I know, we always do. We only talk about the same like 5 people, but I think that Shia LaBeouf would bring like kind of more of an edge, like an aggressive edge to it. But I think that he could do a pretty cool job. But then Victoria, when I asked her the question,
you already pre-read the thing. I just heard it.
Well, I know.
Shia LaBeouf. I think Shia LaBeouf would be great. He's a great actor.
He's a great. I mean, he would bring some wild intensity. But
he would actually just rob a bank, though.
Right, they couldn't get him to stop.
Yeah.
They'd be like, no, cut.
Where'd you get that gun, Shia? I brought it from home. Like,
yeah, it's got live bullets. You're like, yeah, all the round. Yeah, okay. But no, and then Victoria was like, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
That's dude. Jake Gyllenhaal would bring such the right. He has such the desperate like anxiety. He could bring that so well, dude. Like in Nightcrawler, he's basically just this character, Like Jake Gyllenhaal is a better. Victoria's like Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm like, that's a better answer. That's great. Shia would be dope. But Jake's like, I'm like, that's really.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a young actor I like because those guys are all so old now.
That's what I mean, though. It's like kind of.
Shia LaBeouf's the youngest, but he's what 40?
He's our age. No, I think yeah.
Nah, I guess he's like
late 30s,
mid 30s.
But still, that's kind of. I'm like, who the youngest actor I can think of right now is like Timothy Chalamet or something. Like,
it would be him because he's in everything.
He could do it, but
who's Spider-Man? Tom Holland.
I know Tom Holland. Exactly, dude. That's literally those are the only 2 like young actors I can think of, and they're in their like late 20s, so they're not even young actors.
I know.
So yeah, I think there's the dude, and I know you said we talked about Euphoria on the bonus episode, but on Ramble, but it's like that dude that plays Nate in Euphoria. I think he could bring. It's like I've never seen him act like super high energy, but his kind of like depression that he can bring in that show, I feel like could work.
I'm trying not to just pick my favorite actors because I would be like, oh yeah, if Robert Pattinson played Sonny and then fucking Sam Rockwell played Sal,
dude, oh my god, that would be amazing. That would be
that's the movie I want.
I mean, that would basically just be like oh my god, the Brad Pitt movie about the recession in 2008. Oh my god, what is that movie called? I'm so dumb.
Brad Pitt? Are you talking about The Big Short?
No, not The Big Short, dude.
But that's Brad Pitt's in that.
Is Brad Pitt in The Big Short?
Yeah.
Killing them softly. It's kind of that because isn't that Sam Rockwell in it?
Is he? I think he is.
I think that's Sam Rockwell, right? And so it's like, it's just like that kind of like, because that's like about. They don't rob a bank, but they rob that like.
No, they just need to just flip it around and do like they do now and do like an all-girl reboot and have just like Florence Pugh do it or something. That'd be fun.
Okay.
Because they
that's pretty cool. Do like the gender bender style.
Why not? Well, because that's the thing. I can think of young actresses I like, but I can't think of young actors that I like. Like I do like Timothy Chalamet, but I don't think he'd be good for this.
No, it's not Sam Rockwell. Never mind, I lied. But Ray Liotta's in Killing Them Softly.
Oh, yeah, Ray Liotta, a present day Ray Liotta, and Mel Gibson as Sal. He's like, I'm just gonna kill them all. They're like, no, don't do it, Mel Gibson.
Cut, Mel Gibson, cut. He's just choking out one of the tellers.
No, stop.
He's like, I'm a method actor, and he just robs a real bank. That would be I don't know. It's a good question. So thank you, Travis.
I've pondered on it more, but I do think Sam Rockwell could be in anything. Could be good.
He could and actually he could bring that oh my god, Travis and I talked about this actor earlier, the dude from Oh Brother Where Art Thou, the shorter one. He's got like a 3 name.
God, why am I?
I don't
always forget his name too. It's
John Turturro's the other dude, and then it's him.
Because he's in so much stuff. He was literally just in.
He's in like every Coen Brother film.
Oh my God.
Was he in that one? Is he in that like the Macbeth one?
Probably. He was in
it's
Nightmare Alley.
Tim Blake Nelson.
Tim Blake
Nelson could probably do a pretty good job.
I know, but they're all so old.
Well,
I need a young, hot, gay man.
And actually, that was a big thing of it too. Is like getting someone who actually was, LGBT.
Can we bring? Oh God, can we just bring Anton Yelchin back from the dead? That's what I like.
Oh my God, yeah.
That would be good.
Oh my God, dude, he's perfect. Oh my, well, that's
now I'm sad.
Well, now I'm sad. Goodbye, everybody. Rip. That sucks.
I know,
but yeah,
that would be good.
Yeah, he actually would be. Yeah, he'd be perfect.
Did you ever see Thoroughbreds?
No.
It's like his last movie. You didn't see Thoroughbreds? You should. It's good.
Yeah, I should. We should. Yeah, he hasn't been in too many movies, so it's like.
No, I think that was his last role. It was a good movie though. Now I'm trying to see now I need to know. I'll come back. I'll follow up. So I'm not sitting here. I will follow up
next episode.
I still think Sam Rockwell's my official answer,
question.
But I want to come back. I'm gonna rack my brain for my favorite younger actor, and I'm talking under 30, or at least can appear as under 30, easily.
I mean, yeah, right. That's what's tough, man.
Because it's like I can't think. Like I'm trying to think of who's on my radar. Like, oh yeah, I got to keep an eye out for that kid. You know what I mean? I can't think of it right now, so I'm coming back next time with it. So anyway,
I got my
kid
watch.
We got anything else? Is that it? Is that the end?
No,
That's Dog Day Afternoon. You should go watch it. It's a good movie.
Oh, we usually go watch it. We usually do the if you like this movie, go watch this movie. We kind of mentioned some other ones
we did mention,
stuff, but it's like those are intense.
I think a kind of good throwback is honestly, I think the one that deserves your attention that is also about somewhat of a heist, but it's different. The way it's structured, but is Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. Same director, Sidney Lumet. It's two brothers rob a jewelry store. It's great. It's got a different vibe, but I do think it deserves your attention, and it goes to show similar themes, but how versatile of a director Sidney Lumet is. So that would be my suggestion.
Right. And dude, he was 82. That's such a little.
Dude, you're right though. That movie seems like some kid coming off a Sundance sophomore movie. Like some 30-year-old.
It's not some director that's
literally
forever.
The guy who directed 12 Angry Men.
12 Angry Men. Yeah, if you said, hey, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead was directed by the guy who did 12 Angry Men, I would say you're wrong, but it's
incorrect.
That's beautiful. Film's great, man.
Yeah,
love you, everybody.
Anyway, next movie we're watching, I haven't looked officially, unless someone went and voted like crazy, but I'm pretty sure it's Mulholland Drive.
Yeah, it's well, actually, yeah.
It was close, though. That was a close poll, man.
It was close last time, too, man.
No, dude, but they were all close this time. Yeah, dude, they were all 21, 22, 25, and 28 votes. Mulholland Drive won with 28 votes. So that's the movie we're watching next. Get ready for some more David Lynch.
I know you want. Yeah, let's get weird.
I told Mary, I'm like,
Mulholland Drive's so good.
It is. I told her she's got to watch it with me, even though I know she's gonna fucking hate it. But she's stuck because she voted for it.
I think Mulholland Drive's better than Blue Velvet I wouldn't say necessarily.
We'll see.
Better, but it's more accessible.
I think it's the other way around, dude. I think Blue Velvet's way more accessible.
What? No, Blue Velvet's too
it's too
gross.
It's too gross, but it's more it's more coherent. It's less. We'll get into it next episode.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Mulholland Drive is way less literal. Like it's very much like what's happening is not necessarily what's actually. It's not objective truth.
Sure.
And a lot of people struggle.
I don't know. The characters are nicer, and they're like. I don't know.
I guess.
More relationships.
I don't know.
But anyways.
Well, all right, we'll see.
We'll talk about it.
Mulholland Drive. I'm coming back with good young actors. Thank you for listening and or watching. Jordan's about to say the phone number, but while I'm in the same breath, check out the Reddit. Go vote on the movies. Thank you. If you do, come comment. We will read your comments. We'll shout you out. Instagram. What else? Face Narf. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I guess Facebook. We got some stuff.
Check out our Instagram.
If you go to our website,
Oh yeah.
Fulltoscinema.com.
website.
We got merch up now. We
There's
have
one coffee mug.
One coffee mug right now, but it exists. It's live. It's pretty cool, dude.
We're gonna
15-ounce
pile
coffee
on.
mug, baby.
We're figuring out how it all works, and then we're gonna
Yeah.
load you up with goods, man. And it's mainly we're gonna make sexy clothes for ourselves.
And we got
that'll
some.
also
We got
fit your
people.
sexy
We got
bodies.
people on Patreon. Kylie and Landon, what up?
Yeah,
Whoop, whoop.
thanks,
Dude.
Thanks,
They're
guys.
so-
and now
oh,
you
they're
can
so-
actually
such
watch
a
the
beautiful-
fucking movies with us.
Beautiful couple, dude. Yeah,
So
as watch movies,
beautiful
and listen to the pod, and you're gonna get that. You're gonna get that sticker action, baby.
Stickers. All right, give me the fucking
Right.
phone number.
And then if you ever care to call in, you can dial 801-613-1501, and you can give us a little message, just like Travis does.
That's nice.
We love it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. So long, farewell.
Have a good night. Bye.